So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about homesteading and farming. Farming, your goal is profit. Homesteading, your goal is independence. So you can do this on a small scale or a large scale. It's simply working with what you have to achieve your personal goals. So we have about an acre, maybe a little more here, and we have 2 cows, a bull, and 2 calves, as well as 5 horses who are back there waiting for breakfast. We have a mud lot where we keep all 10 of them in one run-in shed, and I have 2 fields connected to that one and 1 independent field also right there. It just, the gate does not connect. So I am able, without ever taking these animals outside of my setup here, because if you have cattle or have been around cattle, they're not the easiest to work with as they are pushing their way through. So I'm gonna move my 2 cows. It's hard to talk to you and show you this as I'm doing this, into a makeshift stall here where they're gonna eat their breakfast. I'm gonna let my bull through the makeshift chute. Come on, buddy. Okay. Now they do this a lot, so you can tell they're used to this routine. We're gonna shut the chute panel. And we're gonna feed the calves in the makeshift chute. So basically, I used 5 panels to create 2 stalls up against my fence. There go the little guys. So I'm going to pause the video and milk the cows while they are eating and are easier to deal with. And then we'll pick back up and I'll move the horses. So give me a minute. So now everybody's fed. Put these tire feeders out. We were losing a lot of money in grain, especially with these 2. They were getting, what, at one point we had stomach ulcer issues. They were getting 6 scoops of grain in a day. And what they were doing was kicking their feeders over, and the majority of the grain ended up on the ground instead of in their bellies. And if you guys have animals, you would know that that is a significant amount of money just down the drain. So now the cows are eating some potatoes. Got to throw some hay over for them then. And everybody needs their water trough filled. Yep. So our goal with these animals, as I said, we don't have a huge field right here. So we feed a lot of hay and a lot of grain to keep everybody happy and healthy. These are beef cattle. We do milk the mothers, well, the one mother. And we're not really sure because they just had calves this middle of January, end of January. So I don't know how long they're gonna be in milk for, but we're gonna milk them for as long as we can. It's currently beginning of June, so we're still doing pretty well. We just took our first 2 steer to the butcher. They're not huge as far as cattle go. We're aware. It was a learning experience. I didn't grow up doing this. I'm used to the horses. The cattle are new. This has been definitely a learning curve with them. So we'll see what we get back from the butcher shop. Hopefully it tastes good and we'll be happy with that. And like I said, we're just chalking it up to a learning experience. The horses we have, one is boarded. That's a friend's horse. That's Mojito. We have my husband's horse, which is the big draft horse. My new baby is Liberty, the white horse. He is green broke. Not much going on with him yet. And the two out in the far field are Tex and Olaf, the pony and the paint horse. The three of them there are used for lessons, so they help contribute to the feed and hay bill, earn their keep. And yeah, so we're going for homesteading versus farming, as I said, looking to kind of self-sustain, not fully, but majority of it ourselves. And you're able to do this as well if you have an interest. It doesn't take a ton of room. I will say it does take money. That it does take. But we don't have a huge setup. And I am able to maintain, well, we had 7 cattle for the last, what, almost 6 months? And we just downsized because of obviously taking the 2. And they all are able to be kept on this dirt lot majority of the year. We do have 2 pastures across the street. They are probably another acre and a half between the 2 fields, maybe 2 acres at most. But we're able to walk the horses and move them around and utilize the grass for them. The cattle, we just keep them over here and move them around because taking them out of the pasture is a fiasco. We like to keep them in the gates. Goes much smoother. Yeah, so you don't need a ton of land. You're able to work with what you have. We also have a hay field across the street. We don't get a ton of hay from it, but it does help. And hay prices have been outrageous the last 2 years. We're anticipating another bad year because of it being so dry this year. So supply and demand, more than likely, we're gonna have higher prices come end of summer, coming into fall, and then hopefully, you know, we can get enough hay to tide us over until next spring when we have to cut again. But yeah.